If you are anything like me, you've watched Finding Nemo more times than you can count. And we're not alone in our devotion to the animated classic. Finding Nemo is actually the most common DVD in American households. And Marlin, Dory, Nemo, and the whole fishy gang now hold a place in just about everybody's heart. So it's no wonder that the announcement of the very long-awaited sequel based around the film's most beloved characters was greeted with absolute elation. Hey guys, what's up? I'm Lauren Mayhew from Mic Drop, and today on ChannelFrederator, we're dedicating this video to our favorite forgetful fish. Are you a diehard fan yet? Just wondering, because who else is obsessed? We've got something for everyone as we count down the 107 facts you should know about Finding Dory. For instance, did you know that Dory's short-term memory loss is based on how, in real life, goldfish can only retain for up to 3 seconds? We've got things like that and more fun facts coming your way. Let's get started. Fact number 1. Finding Dory, the long-awaited sequel to Finding Nemo, finally swims into theaters on June 17th, 2016. Fact number 2. Finding Nemo was one of Pixar's most successful films of all time, but it was released in 2003. That means it took 13 years for Pixar to release the sequel. Finding Dory wasn't officially even tossed around at the studio until 2010. Fact number 3. We were originally going to get Finding Dory sooner, November 25th, 2015 to be exact, but it was pushed back so the studio could attend to delays with the film's predecessor, The Good Dinosaur. Fact number 4. A concept for a Finding Nemo sequel was brought up in the mid-2000s, just not at Pixar. Before Disney bought Pixar outright, Disney set up Circle 7 Animation in 2005 while the two studios were feuding. Circle 7's sole purpose was to generate sequels to Pixar-created yet Disney-owned films. The studio's main focuses were a discarded draft of Toy Story 3 and a never-made Monsters, Inc. 2. Fact number 5. However, writer Laurie Craig completed the script for Finding Nemo 2 just before Disney closed Circle 7 in May of 2006, shortly after the studio purchased Pixar. The plot of this version is unknown, but it seems to have little bearing on Finding Dory. Fact number 6. Finding Dory was directed and conceived by Andrew Stanton, a Pixar linchpin who directed and wrote Finding Nemo as well as A Bug's Life and WALL-E. Fact number 7. In 2010, Stanton began to dream up a sequel of his own, but it was certainly unexpected. Stanton considered Nemo a closed circuit, and he'd said everything he needed to say about Marlin, Nemo, and Dory. Fact number 8. Stanton began to change his mind when he kept doubting whether Dory could get back to her new home if she ever got lost. The problem kept nagging at him, without him even trying to dig for it, so he knew he had an idea worth pursuing. Fact number 9. In many ways, Finding Dory is how Stanton reassured himself on the Dory issue. He said he wanted to know that if his charming fish ever got lost again, that she would be okay, and that she would find her way home. And at the end of Finding Nemo, I wasn't confident about that. Fact number 10. Of course, there was some light pressure from Disney. A polite inquiry, as Stanton calls it. While Stanton realizes the value of sequels from a business perspective, he told Disney that Pixar doesn't want to have to go there for those reasons, and would like to release something that we actually want to make, and might not come up with it the year you want it. Fact number 11. Stanton said that it was paramount to him that audiences understand this sequel is not an attempt to cash in. Pixar learned with the Toy Story sequels that they're not worth doing unless they're good. Doesn't explain Cars 2, but no one's perfect. Fact number 12. Stanton had the idea for Finding Dory for a year before he told anyone about it. He was super careful about pitching it because he knew the minute I say those words out loud, everyone's gonna want it. Fact number 13. Stanton began to write Finding Dory while in a post-production phase of his first live-action film, John Carter. The director says his mind often wanders when his films reach the post-production phase, and his track record shows this to be a production habit. Nemo was written in post for Bug's Life, and WALL-E was written in post for Nemo. Fact number 14. Unfortunately, John Carter didn't do so well. And by didn't do so well, we mean that Disney lost $200 million on the film. It was a hard learning curve to go from animation where reshoots mean improvement to live action where they're synonymous with screw-ups. Fact number 15. One darkly fortunate byproduct of the John Carter bombing was that it freed up Stanton to make Finding Dory. The original plan was to go right into a John Carter sequel, which he had already started writing. Stanton said, "I know I'll be accused by the more sarcastic people that Dory is a reaction to Carter not doing well, but only in its timing, not by its conceit." Fact number 16. Stanton wasn't the only one who couldn't get Dory out of his head. On her talk show, Dory's voice actress, Ellen DeGeneres, had been lobbying for a Nemo sequel for a long time. When she finally got to announce the film, she said she had waited for this day for a long time. Well, that does sound like a long time. Fact number 17. In fact, DeGeneres had a running joke on her show about how Pixar loved making sequels but never made one for Finding Nemo. But when Stanton finally called her to tell they were finally making one, Ellen pulled a fast one on him and responded, "I'm just kidding." Fact number 18. Stanton and writer Victoria Strauss started working on the script in 2012. The first draft came quickly, but there are 10 or 11 drafts of the film in existence, and the tweaks took several years. Fact number 19. Angus MacLane co-directed the movie with Stanton. MacLane's an old pro. He got to Pixar just after the original Toy Story and has basically worked on every film since. Fact number 20. Finding Dory takes place 1 year after the events that occurred in the prequel, Finding Nemo. The writers decided on a year because it's a nice round number. Fact number 21. Stanton Stanton said the writing team went up 3 or 4 different roads before roughly settling on the film's final story, although there was some overlap between the ideas. Stanton says it's common at Pixar to go down the wrong path to find your answers. Fact number 22. Turns out writing a story where your main character struggles with short-term memory loss is incredibly difficult. McLean said that the creative team struggled with how to communicate to the audience where she's at, how she feels, what she knows, and what she remembers. Fact 23. Dory's a grade A sidekick. Unfortunately, that means Stanton and his team struggled to keep her as the main character. She was built to support someone else, and a main character is a very different role. She's so weird to tee up everyone else and put the spotlight on them, and we kept falling into that trap. Fact number 24. The creators debated early on whether one of the film's outcomes should be fixing Dory's short-term memory loss, but everyone agreed it's a fundamental part of who she is, so instead they wanted the film to be about her learning to embrace who she really is and become more self-sufficient. Fact number 25. Dory's short-term memory loss is based on how in real life, goldfish can only retain for 3 seconds. Stanton thought it was hilarious and an interesting trait in a character because they'd be caught in the moment all the time. Fact number 26. Stanton sees Dory as a tragic character because she sees her short-term memory loss as a flaw. Even though she's incredibly friendly and helpful in an attempt to compensate for that and everyone loves her, deep down, she doesn't believe her friends won't abandon her. That sounds deep. Fact number 27. Stanton feels the first movie didn't exactly capture the sadness that Dory always had within herself. Her character was created to be tragic, as Stanton puts it. There's no way you can wander the ocean with short-term memory loss and still be happy. Fact number 28. McLean said that the point of the story is to assure the audience and the creative team that Dory is going to be okay by herself. That was the central driving idea. Fact number 29. Stanton feels Dory's struggle is incredibly universal. He said, most people have something about themselves that they see as a big flaw and they've never been able to change about themselves. And I think the key is not to get rid of it, but more of how do you conquer it. It works for just how you see yourself as imperfect, and that naturally came from trying to deal with Dory and make her a main character. Fact number 30. Dory wasn't always in the first film. Originally, Stanton pictured a male sidekick for Marlin, Gil to be exact, who ended up sequestered in the dentist tank. Fact number 31. Once Stanton decided to give the sidekick short-term memory loss, he became stuck. He couldn't figure out how to write the flaw in a way that wasn't annoying, until he witnessed Ellen change the subject 5 times in the same sentence on her sitcom. The scene brought him out of his writer's block and he decided to make the sidekick a female, and to basically write her for Ellen, obviously. Fact number 32. In fact, for Finding Dory, the writers were struggling somewhat with Dory's character until Degeneres came in. They often found that they were playing her too dumb, too mean, too much a victim, too annoying, etc. A lot of the learning curve came after Degeneres did her first recording, and Stanton said she really fills the character with an underlying sophistication and intelligence. Fact 33. The writers toyed with 3 different possible beginnings to the film, including one that was simply a hard cut to when we first meet Dory in Finding Nemo, followed by the text 1 year later. Fact number 34. Dory's backstory wasn't created specifically for this film. Stanton's always had her backstory in his mind, but didn't realize he hadn't divulged it to the rest of the creative team until a year or 2 into production. The story team was blown away when they said Dory had been traveling for years by herself before she met Marlin, and Stanton added, "Did I not say that out loud?" Fact number 35. Stanton didn't want to make the same mistake with the film's final audience. The incident prompted the team to realize that they needed to put Dory's backstory in the beginning so that everybody was up to speed. Fact number 36. The ending of the movie was also changed significantly after seeing Blackfish, a documentary that brings to light Okra's poor health in captivity. John Lasseter and Stanton reportedly met with the documentary's director and altered the original ending so that the characters stuck in the aquatic rehab facility have a choice to leave. If you haven't seen Blackfish, you totally should. It's super depressing. Fact number 37. Of course, Marlin and Nemo are in the sequel. However, the film is Finding Dory, so they don't have huge roles because Pixar wanted Dory to do this on her own. Fact number 38. There used to be a lot more of Marlin and Nemo in the film, but a huge subplot revolving around them was cut from the final version of the film because it did absolutely nothing to help Dory's story. Fact number 39. A key difference between Finding Nemo and Finding Dory is the struggle the main character must endure. While Marlin's search for his son was an external problem, Dory's short-term memory loss is an internal struggle she must overcome. Fact number 40. When Stanton first started on Finding Nemo, he had no clue what a clownfish or a blue tang was, but he saw a picture of these 2 fish poking out of an anemone and thought it was adorable. Finding out they were called clownfish sealed the deal. Fact number 41. To find the perfect fish to complement a clownfish, Stanton went to the Long Beach Aquarium. Right near the front door, he was fixated by a tank with nothing but blue tangs. He later realized that blue and yellow are the perfect complement to orange and white, so Sidekick is deeply in Dory's DNA. Fact number 42. Now that Dory is the main character, she has her own sidekick, the anti-Dory, in McLean's words. The lovable curmudgeon Hank is the Dory to Dory's Marlin. Fact number 43. Hank originally stole the scene in the touch pool and it had to be rewritten to focus on Dory. In the first draft, he was an Indiana Jones-like character moving Dory around the pool. The team thought he drove the scene far too much. Fact 44. Unfortunately, not every character in Finding Nemo made it into the sequel. Stanton wanted to make sure that the characters who made it into the new film were in it for the right reasons. Fact number 45. The creators actually have a graph charting the emotional state of the audience at different points during the movie. Apparently, something really bad happened happens towards the end. They are calculatedly manipulating our emotions. I smell conspiracy, maybe. Fact number 46. Stanton grew up by the ocean and was initially drawn to it as a setting for a story because of the dualities it embodies: life and death, beauty and terrifying power. Fact number 47. Largely as a product of the first film, Stanton learned to really appreciate the plights of sea life. Stanton and his team wove global warming, conservation, and taking care of nature into the narrative of the story. But Stanton assures fans that the film isn't preachy. We're glad to hear Pixar's using their power for ecological good though. Fact number 48. The film started production before a script was ever fully finalized. Stanton likes to start production around 2 years and 6 to 7 drafts into the writing process. At that point, he decides which pages are good enough to warrant animation. Fact number 49. Besides keeping Stanton's films from having a 10-year production period, seeing the animation helps Stanton address what's still not working on the page, and then it becomes a race, he says. Fact number 50. Over 103,000 storyboards were generated for the film over a course of 3.5 years. With numbers like that, it's no wonder that story supervisor Max Brace said that no ideas are too precious. Fact number 51. The writers didn't make it easy on the animators. Producer Lindsay Collins estimates Finding Dory has the most diverse cast the characters department has ever had to deal with in terms of species who move differently. Fact 52. Yet animators found making this film incredibly rewarding and educational because the amount of research and development that went into each scene. The filmmakers had to learn a lot about ocean and biology and are now basically ocean experts. Fact number 53. Although the animators use real ocean imagery as reference, Pixar wanted there to be a stylized element to the animation that wasn't exactly photorealistic. They wanted the look of the film to be somewhat simplified and to have character. Keep in mind that simplified for Pixar is on a whole different level though. Fact number 54. The research team took thousands of photos in real-life aquariums, but from a fish's perspective. Naturally, this helps the scenes look more authentic. Fact number 55. There's a stark difference between the design of the underwater world and the human world. The ocean has lots of comforting warm colors and soft shapes to imply safety and warmth. On the other hand, the Marine Life Institute contains harsh lines and is desaturated. Fact number 56. An extreme amount of detail went into every scene, especially the underwater scenes, where the creative team was careful not to replicate or repeat any patterns to make the environment more believable. Fact number 57. The Pixar team even went a step further to ensure that the film isn't from just any old fish's point of view, it's from Dory's. So to keep the film in the perspective of the blue tang with short memory loss, the team did away with any and all establishing shots, unless Dory herself was looking into a big open space. Fact number 58. And just in case you still forgot the movie's about a fish, the Pixar team went to extreme lengths to dehumanize the film. Generally, every human in the film appears as a shadow, since Finding Dory focuses even more on its aquatic protagonist than Finding Nemo did. Sorry, Darla. Fact number 59. 13 years makes a huge difference in the world of animation technology. As a result, the movie is able to explore sea life that was impossible to capture back in 2003, including Hank, the octopus. Fact number 60. Why are octopi so difficult? Because they have no bones. Studying how an octopus moves proved extremely difficult for Pixar animators because bone structures at least make a character's movement predictable. No bones means a lot of surprising movements. Sorry for the interruption, guys. We're taking a break from these facts to bring you news about a new music channel I'm hosting called Mic Drop. Now, if you love 107 Facts, you will love this new channel because we'll have 107 facts on your favorite musicians and tons more. What are you waiting for? Subscribe and watch some new videos over at Mic Drop. Now, back to your facts. Fact number 61. Even with technological advancements, the no bones issue proved formidable. Animators spent an entire year just trying to get Hank's movements to look believable. Fact number 62. Pixar wanted Hank to be lovingly curmudgeonly, like their own animator, Bud Lucky, but based Hank's movements off Kaa from the Jungle Book. Fact number 63. This may be news to you, but Squidward isn't anatomically correct. An octopus's mouth, or rather beak, is on the lower side of the body, in the eye of the tentacles, you might say. Because Hank's design reflects this, animators focused on putting Hank's expression in his eyes. Fact 64. Stanton knew he wanted to have an octopus character in the film before Hank even had a personality. Octopi are the most ambulatory creature in the whole ocean, perfect for carting a blue tang around a human environment. Camouflage helps too. Fact number 65. Keeping with the theme of differently abled characters, Hank is actually a septopus. He's missing one leg. Fact number 66. Hank has over 350 suction cups on his 7 tentacles. The Pixar simulation team worked hard to incorporate natural movement on every single one. Fact number 67. With all this information about Hank's incredible detail, it shouldn't surprise you that one of the most painstaking shots in the entire film is Hank's introduction. 18 different artists produced 146 versions of it over the course of 13 months. Fact number 68. A scene from Finding Nemo was reanimated for the higher technological standards of 2016 for inclusion in Finding Dory. The new shots are more detailed and have more camera movement. Fact number 69. Pixar really wanted to place a kelp forest scene in the first film because they look so unique, but they could never really justify it. Needless to say, for For the sequel, it was on the top of their list. Fact number 70. A generous portion of the film takes place at the Marine Life Institute, or MLI. The MLI is heavily influenced by the Monterey Bay Aquarium, down to even the light switches. Fact number 71. Pixar's production designers built the entire MLI building, even rooms we don't see in the final film. This way, if any kind of change happened to the storyline, as it often did, the directors would have options on where to set the scene. Fact 72. Ever since its beginnings, Pixar has used the Renderman software. Finding Dory is their first film to use the entirely new Renderman RIS, which means it's the first time in 30 years Pixar has changed its rendering software. Fact number 73. The old software only allowed Pixar to create direct light, and lighting artists had to create invisible light sources to mimic what indirect light might look like. Now, in Dory, animators could create both direct and indirect light sources, which is quite handy if your entire film takes place underwater. They probably use the same resources to figure out how to move Hank. Fact number 74. The program also is able to handle the light reflected from and refracted by water much smoother than before. Each shot in the film has billions of individual light rays per frame. Fact number 75. Additionally, Pixar began to use Katana, a plugin to Renderman that creates more reactive renders of each frame, allowing them to see the effects of a move light source more or less instantaneously instead of having to wait for hours. Fact number 76. Pixar animators also created a program called Universal Scene Description. Basically, it enables the animator to add insane amounts of detail to objects and to make scenes with thousands of swimming fish. Fact number 77. Later this year, Pixar plans to release this newly developed USD software in a valiant attempt to universalize the incredibly complex language behind computer animation. Fact number 78. For Finding Nemo, animators built blueprints to understand how each fish swims. For Dory, recipes for movement were added to the animation system Presto. The recipes made swimming animations more automatic, but of course, allowed the animators to alter the pattern and avoid some seriously tedious work. Fact number 79. Everything in this film was designed to mimic reality, right down to the simulated camera lens. Cinematographers Jeremy Lasky and Ian Megabin used a simulated 16mm for intimate shot and a simulated 33mm camera for the larger shots. Fact number 80. Like we said earlier, Ellen DeGeneres reprises her role as Dory. She was involved in the process almost from the beginning, and also therefore recorded a bunch of lines that were never used. Stanton estimated she delivered over 500 lines by the end of production. Fact number 81. Dory is a very meaningful character to DeGeneres. Finding Nemo came around when she felt she was at her lowest, as her sitcom had been canceled. An amazing story by itself, because she essentially came out on her show. DeGeneres really took the Just Keep Swimming motto to heart and landed her talk show shortly before Nemo was released. Fact number 82. Despite the huge time gap, DeGeneres says she instantly fell right back into character. So much so, she even surprised herself. Fact number 83. Dory was definitely more challenging the second time around. In addition to just being funny, DeGeneres had to get Dory's more serious emotions very purely across just using her voice, and loved the challenge. Fact number 84. But of course, you can't just have Ellen DeGeneres and just not let her do her thing. Pixar allowed DeGeneres to go off and explore different directions. Sometimes she ended up giving writers the ideas. Fact number 85. DeGeneres claims being a part of the Finding franchise has been a very powerful journey. Parents both thank and curse her on a regular basis. Fact number 86. By absolutely no means is DeGeneres the only returning voice actor for Finding Dory. Comedian Albert Brooks also reprises his role as Marlin. Fact number 87. Stanton says he basically wrote Marlin to be himself. He was historically being worried and fearful, obsessing about the past and nervous about the future. By contrast, Dory was the character he had always wanted to be. Fact number 88. Nemo had to be recast because the original actor, Alexander Gould, is now 21. When searching for a new Nemo, Pixar rounded up around 12 kids, 8 of which Stanton claims sounded exactly like the original. Fact number 89. Although Gould is too old to play Nemo, he still makes a cameo in the sequel. He isn't exactly recognizable now that he's all grown up, but Stanton wanted the Nemo family present in the film. Fact number 90. Because we're not living in Neverland, Squirt also had to be recast. Originally voiced by Nicholas Bird, in the sequel he is voiced by Bennett Damon, making his debut role in Anything Ever. Fact number 91. And if we've got Squirt, that means we've naturally got Crush as well. Fun fact within a fact, Andrew Stanton himself provides the voice of Crush. Fact number 92. Stanton watched old Ellen interviews to see if there were any actors that she had chemistry with. The interviews were a perfect way to see how people interacted with Ellen and who complimented her sense of humor. And so Ed O'Neill, Ty Burrell, Diane Keaton, and Eugene Levy were all cast. Fact number 93. By contrast, Stanton says Pixar usually has to cut sections of dialogue out of pre-existing shows and fake a conversation to see how potential actors sound together. He says, in a way, Finding Dory was his easiest casting session, and the cast was in place way earlier than usual. Fact number 94. O'Neill has joined the Nemo family as Hank, alongside his Modern Family co-star Ty Burrell, who stars as Bailey, the beluga whale. Fact number 95. Stanton and Collins admit what they're watching on TV heavily affects casting. So in addition to the Modern Family duo, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia actress Caitlin Olsen snagged the role of Dory's friend Destiny, the whale shark. Fact number 96. Stanton has always wanted to work with Olsen ever since he first watched her in It's Always Sunny. He says he's been thinking for some some time he'd like to animate her voice. Flattering coming from a director, but probably a bad pickup line. Fact number 97. Destiny had existed in the film for a long time, but her backstory went through several changes. Originally, she was Dory's adopted sister, but now she's a friend from her past that Dory just sort of forgot about. Fact number 98. An amazing comedic duo was paired for the roles of Dory's parents. Levy will be voicing Dory's father, Charlie, and Academy Award-winning actress Diane Keaton is playing the role of Dory's mother, Jenny. Fact number 99. Stanton couldn't get over his desire to make Guy Ritchie typecast Easton London gangster sea lions. The impulse, which Stanton couldn't quite explain, resulted in Rudder and Fluke. Fact number 100. The East London gangster impulse also led him to casting Dominic West and Idris Elba as the duo. He confesses that the casting was largely because he just wanted a Wire reunion. I'm sure you're not the only one, Andrew Stanton. Fact number 101. Another new addition to the film are the ocean loons. According to the director, the loons are the seagulls of this movie. Wait, no seagulls? Why do I even care about this movie? Mine. Fact 102. Pixar knew they wanted to include sea otters from the beginning because they're just so darn cute. Apparently, they're mean in real life, but Pixar promised theirs are 100% huggable. Fact number 103. Composer Thomas Newman, who composed Finding Nemo, was brought back to score the sequel. This was an easy call for Stanton, who recently said Newman is Nemo. Fact 104. In addition to being one of Stanton's favorites, since he also worked on WALL-E, Newman is a recent James Bond fixture. He composed the scores for both Spectre and Skyfall. Talk about opposites, eh? Fact 105. As an April Fool's gag, Stanton and O'Neill revealed that Hank the Octopus has been hiding in every Pixar movie ever made. You've just never seen him because he's that gifted at camouflage, obviously. Fact number 106. There's a pocket of Pixar fans who secretly look forward to the short more than the movie. For Finding Dory, the opening short is Piper, a 6-minute film about a sandpiper which has no dialogue and was designed to have a painterly look. Fact number 107. Make sure you stay through the end of the credits. Stanton and Collins are promising something good to those who wait. Thanks for watching 107 facts you should know about Finding Dory. Once again, guys, I'm Lauren Mayhew from Mic Drop, and you can check out more of our videos on this box right here. Subscribe there while you're at it. Now, which character are you guys most excited for? Let us know in the comments. And if you liked what you just saw, then check out some of these other 107 facts videos by clicking the annotations or the links in the description. And be sure to subscribe to ChannelFrederator so you don't miss out on any of our videos. Because remember, Frederator loves you.